You know, it's crazy sometimes how quickly things become bigger than football. When you live and breathe and you do this for a living and you do it so consistently, and it's everything about what you do. You're up late at nights trying to figure out am I getting enough out of the group? How can I push the group? You know, am I giving enough information? Am I giving too much information? And how quickly your whole life just pauses. And my whole life paused. And I know there's been multiple people that have experienced different ways that their lives have paused, and it's become about more than football. And I think for me, it was a reiteration of there's more to life than football. Football is very passionate for us. Football is what we live and breathe and love to do. But there's bigger things, and it put things into perspective for me very quickly and massively. Very grateful for my family and the support that we received from everybody, from this community and from everybody across the league and from fans across the league. I also realized very quickly how many people have actually gone through this and how many families have experienced this, and I want to speak about it because I want to speak about it for them and the pain that they've endured, the heartbreak that they've endured. I've never experienced such heartbreak in my entire life. I'm always going to wonder what if I had a son. What if I had, you know, when I walk out and see people with their with mothers with their sons, I'm always going to wonder what that's like. But I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to talk about it because a lot of people have endured it. And this group makes me happy. This group brings me joy. Being back, I have found such joy in my family, their support, their love. The time that we've got together, what miracles my children are to me. And I'm in a happy place being here and continuing to keep myself distracted, in the same time focused in what we need to accomplish here. So that being said, I am grateful to be back. This will be something that's changed my life forever in a way that I'm choosing to find the bright light in such a dark moment. And continue to value, you know, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, aren't we? And we are very much seen for our jobs first. And I'm here to remind everyone that we're human.
Thank you.
Of course.
Any questions about the soccer game or other questions?
You just mentioned how much joy it brings you to being back here with this group. How has it just being back? What have you guys been focusing on, working on, and just kind of having this to come back to?
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things, you know, for me was the support from the group. I was a little emotional watching the game from home on TV and seeing how supportive this group was, and I thanked them on the first day back. Thank you for treating me as a human being, and thank you for supporting me as a human being, not just your head coach. Again, the respect and what they contributed to me and my family in that moment is something I'm very grateful for, and it shows the respect we have for each other, the joy that we have for each other. And being back, my first day, I was so lit up, I was so smiley. I'm so happy to be back with the staff. We have such an incredible relationship. You know, we value who each other are. We value it more than just a job, and obviously seeing these players and bringing that emotion back. And it's been great. I think obviously we've had the break mentally and physically. My scenario aside, everyone had an opportunity to refresh, didn't they? In these past two sessions, I've been incredibly pleased with the intensity. You could see the refreshed feeling and body language and all these types of pieces. Obviously before that we had a long run, didn't we? We were on the road for a ton of time, came back, played 2 games, played 1 game at home, 1 game away at North Carolina. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to refresh. Obviously very proud of our 2 players that have taken off to represent their countries, but we do have a core group still here, correct? Which is a fantastic opportunity for us to continue building and continue pushing and find momentum and relationships and continue to push those in this time frame that not a lot of the other clubs can say the same thing.
So on that exact point, do you see the summer tournaments as an opportunity to experiment and try something new, or is it more about honing and perfecting what you've been trying to do all season?
Yeah, and I think there's a balance to it, right? I still think there's things that we need to continue to perfect, and I think there's a few areas that I think we can experiment with at the same time. So I think it's a fine balance of that. Again, I'd like to take advantage of the fact that here throughout the trainings, we still have an opportunity to continue to build relationships. Like I mentioned, not all clubs are in that position, so we're grateful to be in that position and very proud for those 2 players representing their country. So taking advantage of that at the same time is very important for us.
Other than winning the competition, obviously, what are your goals from this competition?
Yeah, I think for us, obviously, looking at the two competitions coming up, right, the TWC as well as the Summer Cup, it's a good opportunity for us to still continue to have the mentality and mindset. We want to win, don't we? Yeah, of course. We want to bring a trophy home, don't we? Yes, of course. At the same time, it's continuing to see where the relationships are and how we can continue to perfect them and continue to hone in specifically on your question, what we're trying to accomplish, because we do feel like we're there and we do feel like the pieces are there. Now, what is it specifically that we feel that we could take this time out right now to use to our advantage to possibly test some things out is going to be key for us.
You mentioned testing some things out. Is that including maybe testing some players that maybe haven't seen the field as much during the regular season?
So I think for us, the testing piece comes from specifically what we're looking for. We've offered a few different tactically, we've offered a few different options of how we would like to look higher up the pitch. Now for us, it's going to be testing out, are we picking a specific moment for that to look a certain way instead of the open dialogue to pick and choose these moments. Actually, we feel like we can hurt this team, and actually testing ourselves tactically and how we feel we can execute that.
Anything else for Bev?
Just opening up the Summer Cup again tomorrow, or I don't know, Friday. The team that you're just a high caliber team, any benefits that, when it comes to just starting it off against a team like that?
Yeah, and I think for us, right, we're so used to playing teams in league. We're so used to understanding the players in league, the coaches in league, the style in league. So to play somebody different, to play somebody with a different style, with a different culture, it's always very fun. And it brings just a different type of energy. I wonder, obviously we do the scout just as we would normally from an in-league perspective, but you also just have different types of players that come in and showcase a very different style that I think will be good for our group to experience, and obviously showcase who we are at the same capacity. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.